name's Jerome Miles. I'm an engineer living in Payson, Utah, and in my spare time I love to build things. Everything from custom CNC routers to fighting robots like you used to see on TV. Something all of my hobbies have in common is I need to make parts for them. And so over the years I've had many different CNC machines. Typically these home machines are controlled with two programs, Mach 3 or Linux CNC. Something that these have in common is both of those programs use a keyboard for control. I've never really liked it. Keyboards are big and awkward. There's a lot of keys on there that you have to memorize to use the functionality of your machine. So I wanted something better. I wanted something that could fit in my hand and give me access to all the stuff on the machine I needed to make a part. So that's why I built the Jog It CNC pendant. You can see, you can use it to move your machine around and a bunch of other stuff that I'll show you a little bit later. First, let's go ahead and look at what it takes to make one of these. Now that you've seen the button layout, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to control a CNC machine with this pendant. For the demonstration, we'll be using the small CNC mill that uses a Dremel for a spindle, and we'll be using an EMC to control it. Open up EMC. And the only thing that you'll have to do at this point with your mouse is open up your G-code file. I'm going to find mine here on the desktop. It's a little smiley face that we're going to cut out. At this point you can do everything with the pendant. So the E-stop button has been pressed and the power is turned off. So I'm going to turn off the E-stop and then I'm going to turn the machine's power on. And you noticed everything lit up. At this point I could jog the machine around if I wanted to, but EMC defaults to a fairly slow jog speed. So we're going to use the jog speed buttons to turn it up a little bit. So if you notice, when I click it, it moves up in small increments. If I hold it, it goes all the way up. The maximum speed on this machine is 12 inches per minute. And you can see now, I can jog the machine around. So before we can cut out our smiley face, we need to let EMC know where our material is. I've set this up so that we can zero the machine in the center of the material. So get X over here, center. Give myself a little bit of allowance so I can just get a rough estimate here, but that looks about centered. If I come over here, you notice the digital readout, X. When I hit the button, it zeroes it out and pumps it. I can do the same thing for Y and Z. So let's go ahead and use the arrows here for Y. That's just about centered right there. I'll hold it. Now Z, I don't want to slam the bit into the material, so I'm going to turn the speed down. So we're just at a couple inches per minute. And then slowly lower the speed down. We're just touching the small that we're going to cut right there. Good. I'm going to zero that, and we can start running this program. When I hit the start button, this little window comes up asking if the tool is in. And that's why the enter key has been put on here. So if I hit enter, the program is going to start. And here it goes. You can hear the spindles fired up, and it's carving the smile in the smiley face. At any point I can stop this by hitting the stop button on the pendant, just like I did. Now to start over again, I just hit the start button, The machine resets, asks me if the tool's in. I hit enter, and it starts cutting again. Now let's say you don't want to start the program over, but you still want to stop it. That's what the pause button is for right here. So right now I can hit pause, and everything stops moving. The spindle stays on, but the axes stop. If I want to resume, hit resume. And everything starts moving again. This is really useful if you want to just start and then look at the material, make sure it's still held down really well, or different things like that. Anytime you really just want to stop and then be able to restart. And right now you can see it's cutting at full speed. At any point you can hit this button here, which changes that to 50%. You can take it back to 100% by hitting that button. So if your speeds and feeds are off a little bit, it's no big deal. You can slow it down, speed it back up to the 50 and 100% buttons. You can see our little smiley face that we've cut out. Really quick, easy to do. Down here at the bottom, these are the buttons that we haven't used yet. This is the spindle on and off, so you saw it start automatically before, but if we want to manually turn it on, I can hit that button and the spindle turns on. Hit that button again, the spindle turns on. Now we also have auxiliary 1 and auxiliary 2. These can control many different things, such as vacuums, liquid cooling, anything that you would auxiliary wanting to control with an auxiliary option. You see on the screen here, there's mist and flood is what it's set up for right now. So if I hit auxiliary 1, mist turns on, hit again, turns on. Auxiliary 2, flood turns on, hit again, flood turns on. So as you can see, it's really easy to run your CNC machine with this pendant. And I'll show you how to do the prototype Mach 3 version of the pendant. As you can see, the buttons are just temporary foam buttons right now. These will be replaced with a custom rubber keypad, just like the EMC pendant. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Mach 3 screen. When you first open up Mach 3, the e-stop reset button has been tripped. So the pendant has one of these on it, so we can go ahead and turn that off so that we can go ahead and use Mach 3. The only time that you'll have to use your mouse to run a program again is when you're opening your G-code file. So I just opened up the same file that we cut out in EMC, this little smiley face, to give you a demonstration. We come over to the machine, see the material and the cutter. I can jog around to position the cutter with the arrows just like I did in EMC. Now Mach 3 has two different jog modes that we're going to be using with this pendant. One is continuous jog mode like you're seeing now, and you can adjust the speed of that with these arrows. We come over here, you see the jog rate right there is at 95%. Now it's at 100, 95, so I'm hitting these arrows, and that's raising that up and down. So that's useful if you want to wrap it over your material and then slow down and kind of just work your way up to it. Something that's a little bit more precise that Mach 3 allows you to do is switch from continuous jog mode to incremental jog mode. So if you look at the screen right here, you can see that yellow LED on the jog mode is saying continuous right now. So if I hit the jog mode button and it switches over to step jog, and we can move in step increments. So this number right here is what it's going to move when you hit the button. So it doesn't matter if you press it, let go, or press it and hold it. Right now, each button would only move the axis 1/1000 of an inch. So pretty precise control. Let's say you don't want to move 1/1000 of an inch, so you have the step button over here though. You can quickly cycle through a whole bunch of different numbers from 1 inch down to 1/10,000 of an inch. So pretty precise control of your machine between the two jog modes to go ahead and zero some material. Let's switch back over to continuous jog mode for a minute. Come over here and zero the machine. So I'm going to zero the center of this foam again. So that looks good for the X. You'll notice the difference on this pendant is the home button is not used to zero. The home button actually just sends your machine to home. So if you have homing switches, hitting this will send all three axes to those switches. To zero the machine, you'll use these 3 0 buttons right here. The 0X button does the X, as you'll be able to see. Digital readout right now, reading 0.4. If I hit 0X, it goes to 0. Let's go ahead and zero the Y. Jog over to the center of this material and Y. There we go. Come back over to the DRO, 0Y. And let's do the same thing for Z. But let's do something a little different this time. Let's use continuous jog mode just to get the bit really close to the foam like that. Now I'm going to switch over to incremental jog mode. Change my step to 1/1000 of an inch. and right now I'm moving down 1/1000ths every time until that bit just touches the top of the foam, like that. Perfect. Let's come back over here and hit the 0Z button. You notice that DRO goes to 0 as well. So at this point we're referenced. We're ready to run a program. So up here in the top right corner is the cycle start button. I'm going to go ahead and hit that. The machine preps itself, gets ready, and starts cutting. So the feed rate is going kind of slow right now. You'll notice I have a plus and a minus on here, and I can actually change that. So right now I've been hitting the minus, and we've got it to where it's almost not even moving. Hit the plus, speed it back up dramatically. Come over here, you can see the feed rate on the screen. You can see that green bar going up and down when I'm hitting the plus and the minus, showing you that the feed rate is adjusting. I'm coming back over here. A really useful button is the pause button. When you hit that, it finishes the line of code, it's on and pauses. Once you check things out, adjust things if you need to, then you can start it again by hitting cycle start. Let's go ahead and let it finish cutting out this line of base. Perfect. So let's show you the buttons on the pendant that we didn't use yet. There's the flood button. So this is if this machine had active cooling. If you come over here, you can see the flood, when I hit it, starts to blink blue, letting you know that it's turned on. Turn it off, just like that. The spindle is also controllable with the pendant. Now it turned on automatically with that program, but if I want to just turn it on anytime, you can, just by hitting the button, and then hitting it again to turn it off. So that's the Mach 3 pendant. I hope we get as many of these out there and into people's hands as we can, and thank you for watching.